What's up, guys? Welcome back to Call the Wild the Angler. We are doing this week's stream recap with Jaxie, and yeah, let's get into it.
Go, my friends, check this out.
I'm Daniel, owner of Anca Molina, and we'd like to give you a warm Agua Clara welcome. We are an area famous for our hospitality and pescadito, the finest fresh fried fish you'll find anywhere.
You'll want to see the Atajo de Rey Hugo, a towering walkway that cuts across the mountains, which you'll be able to fish off, if you like. I'm Kerim, by the way.
Also of Anca Molina.
Sure. If you'd like to see architecture, there's Castillo de la Vasta Vita.
Andalusian to the core, even in its sense of humor. All wrapped in some of the most gorgeous countryside known to man. Welcome to Agua Clara. If you like to listen, you love to visit.
If you like to talk, you'll have to stay.
Yeah, so that intro video gives you a very, very brief look at the Spanish Reserve. And like I said before, it's, to me personally, based on where I've been in Spain, it looks like the Spanish side of the Straits of Gibraltar. What's really cool is we got the caves, we've got the King's Walkway, which is that suspension pathway through the ravine. Lots of architecture, tons of architecture on the map. If you like visuals, this is a great map for visuals. I'll put it that way. But anyways, let's continue. So I did want to point this out. On the new map, and this style of map should be coming to all three reserves, where we kind of have this depth chart type of map. So you can see the dark spots, the dark blue, that's going to be your deeper spots, whereas your more sea green, teal type colors are your light or are your shallow spots. It's something that the community has been asking for, is some kind of depth chart. And I think this is the best way that they can go about this, because if they put numbers in here, they would have to do it for both metric and standard. So that would really complicate things. So for this game, I think this is the best way of doing it, because you can choose whether you want metric or standard, right? Yeah, they can probably put numbers in here, but this is just so much easier. It gives you a nice quick visual. Okay, this is deep water, so maybe that's where you want to go to find your deep water fish. Whereas if you're looking for the coastal fish or the bank fish, you just go where the water's shallow. So yeah, I love this. I love that they put in somewhat of a depth chart.
Will make my hobby more complicated.
Yeah, the consultant underlined to us just how much people from the region like to talk. We didn't go whole hog with it. We've definitely tried to make it a little easier on the ears for our players, but it needed to have a big difference to Norway. And so we decided we're going to have both of the NPCs in the same location. And also when we recorded the script, we had both the actors in the same booth together, talking to each other, which is just meant to give Norway's this kind of very distant, they're very far apart. Here in Andalusia in Spain, they're very close together, they're dialoguing back and forth and they're talking to each other, which is just meant to kind of underline the difference in the region between this and Norway.
I like that a lot. I like that an awful lot. That's great. I had no idea we recorded the two at the same time. That creates that real genuine dialogue of exchange. That's beautiful. Well done. Well done. So is there anything else you want to touch base on with the NPCs and what we can expect? Or do they move around the reserve, or are they always here?
So they'll always be here in Daniel's restaurant and Kieran's restaurant, obviously. One thing I did want to add as well is when I talked to our cultural consultant for Norway, I asked about food, and she said, no, food is a functional thing in Norway. They don't really have a lot of passion for it. But that was the complete opposite to the Spanish culture consultant, who underlined just how important food was. And so one of the collectibles this time around are some dishes that are served in the restaurant. And if you look over to the table to your left, as you collect the dishes, they'll be set out as a little feast for you on the table. And as you collect the paintings, they'll be hung up in the restaurant as you collect them.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of a little bit of evolve. Exactly. And it's not just collectibles as well. We have some new ways of thinking about fishing missions. So I think you'll maybe see a few as you walk past them. But we have new fishing missions that are kind of localized to separate locations on the map. So you don't have to run all the way back to a board. You can find fishing missions on piers for specific things. You can discover them in the wild.
Yeah, I'm going to touch on that one. So you've got the boards. There's 3 boards that you have in the 3 separate regions. So it's kind of like Norway, where these missions here, they're a bit different from what we're used to, guys. So these missions are kind of like challenges. So they'll have you go catch a certain species, but you have to use a certain weight of line. And it has to be a certain rank of the species as well. So it provides a little bit more of a challenge. But if you go through each region and you collect all these up, and then you go and do your fishing challenges, you can double up your mission completions, depending on what type of setup you're using. So you don't have to do these individually if you get them all at once. So I would recommend, if you're just exploring, go through, find your mission boards, get all of these, and then when you're out going fishing, when you find your fishing missions at the lakes and stuff like that, when you activate those, you have a higher chance of completing these when you complete your fishing missions. So that's my recommendation. We'll see if any of this changes by the time of release. I don't think it will. But yeah, they're definitely doing a new take on the mission. So again, in the regions, you'll have these boards, which have these challenges, these tackle challenges, I guess is what we'll call them. And then as you're out exploring, you go to the different lakes, you go to the different jetties and stuff like that, and you'll find the fishing missions that we're used to, where it tells you catch a silver chub or a gold northern pike or something like that. You'll find those at the lakes themselves. So like Ben was saying, you don't have to keep coming back to the board. Just pick the region that you want to fish in, grab these, then go out and find your fishing missions, and you're good to go.
All in all, it's a lot more fishing centric. A lot of the stuff you'll be doing, which is a response to player feedback. People wanted more fishing in their fishing game, and I hope we've given it to them. So there should be a lot of that to enjoy. People will know Golden Ridge Reserve is Yellowstone Park, but we slightly changed it up a little bit so that we can have some freedom to tell stories. And in this case, this is a town called El Chorro, which is next to the Gorge de Gigantes, which we have kind of span out, and we've taken many things from the region, like that patron saint, the kings, the stories, the kind of texture of the culture being stuck between Morocco and Spain, and the unique kind of Arabic and Moorish spin on their thing, and we've made our own kind of spin on it, and we've had a bit of a liability to run wild.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
The extra content, I guess you could say, that we have in our game. It's a focus on fishing, but there's so much more that you can do if you want that break, and to get into it when you see a reserve like this. I'm sorry, I have to go on this bridge.
Right, so I'm just going to put it out there. He started the mission, A Taste of Tomatito, which is going to take you pretty much where Jaxie is right now. It's actually a fishing mission down in this little body of water. But you have to find the Tomatito lure. And it's kind of like the geocache missions that we're used to seeing, except they don't really tell you where to go. So it adds a little bit of a challenge, but when that mission activates, when it tells you to find a lure, it's going to be in the area. So with this one, I'm going to give you a little spoiler. You're going to want to look by the rocks right up in here, or maybe it's back over on this side. But you're going to want to look in that area. That's all I'll tell you. And once you get the lure, you equip it, you come down to this body of water, and you can do the Taste of Tomatito mission. And that's really as far as I've gotten. Yeah. Right, so that's a better look. You're going to come down here for Taste of Tomatito. It's going to be marked once you get the lure. It's going to show you exactly where to go, so I don't mind showing it here. Just as a little early view. But this is where you go to do that mission. And the King's Path will take you down through here and wind around up this way. And you'll get to the elevated path that takes you through this ravine, the gorge, whatever you want to call it, to the other side, to the southern side of the map. So what Jackson did, that's what the, let's take it back a little bit. We'll take it back a little bit.
Sounds amazing. Okay, I guess I have to walk out here to discover it.
There we go. So this is what you're looking for. These are your fishing missions. And you're going to find these at the jetties of pretty much every single water body. Like, they're everywhere. I think I mentioned, I've counted so far like 56 different missions. So there's probably closer to 60. Honestly, it's probably 60 missions. But this is what you're going to be looking for. And this, once you activate that, this tells you the parameters of what you're fishing for. It'll tell you the species, it'll tell you the rank. It doesn't tell you the gear on these. That's the gear missions, that's your tackle challenges. These work just like your regular fishing missions. You pick them up, and boom, you're already at the water body. So you don't have to go look for the water body to find the fish that you're fishing for. It's already there. You pick it up, boom. Now you know exactly where to go. You know exactly where to fish. It's just a matter of picking out the right bait. So I love the way that they did the fishing missions on this map. Absolutely love it. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below, and we'll continue.
Unless you tell me otherwise, I'm going to look at this thing.
Yes, that's what we should do. So I did, before we jumped in, I did hear you were getting your luminescent fishing equipment.
Yes.
And that's a must-have because we're going somewhere very dark.
Oh.
Did you hear that, guys? Luminescent fishing equipment. How cool is that? How cool is that?
And so the background of this cave, I talked to you a little bit about how integral the saints and religion is to the region.
Yes.
There is an apparition of the Virgin Mary that is encased within the cathedral here in the reserve. And
cool.
that was originally found by the patron saint in this very cave. And that is where it gets its Spanish name, Cueva de la Aparición, the Cave of the Apparition. And you will see a mural inside the cave, a little deeper in the caves, commemorating that event, which is kind of nice. So there's a lot more cave to explore and a few little more twists and turns. But I think we'll be heading back out into sunlight fairly soon. We can maybe pop back in, but...
Sorry, I just had to turn my light off to see. Dude, you completely disappeared the minute it went off. I mean, holy... And after that...
No, so it's not. This one isn't for the next reserves. So it's just for another piece of content.
Oh, okay. I see. Ah. Very good. But that's, they're going to be like a dog on a bone. They're not going to stop until they can sniff it out. Mm. This is kind of wild.
There's a lot of cave here. We're just taking you on a little walking tour. But now we'll head out of the cave, or at least along the way, and we can check out some more landmarks. I don't think we have too much longer left.
Wow.
No, it is going to give you a narrative about a bird, which is no confusing what I think about it, but there is some dialogue that you can hear about that about that as you go. Yep, I'm really looking forward to everyone getting their hands on this. Obviously, we've tried out with a lot of the decisions we've made. We've been using a lot of the feedback from Norway, so please, please, please keep giving us feedback in the same way that you have been. We've got more players than ever before right now, and that's the most stuff we could be hearing from you lot. So please keep telling us what you want on the Discord, on our official platforms, and come the next reserve, we can try and address it as much as possible. And hey, hopefully we can try and make a better game together and keep doing it.
Ben, round of applause. I couldn't have said that better myself. In fact, I say that so often. I almost feel like a broken record. I love the fact that you just reiterated to these folks that they are really helping shape this game. The feedback and how important it is, it just goes such a long way. And I think that, my friends, answers any of your questions if, in fact, the devs are seeing your feedback in the Discord, in that feedback forum, and in fact, they are. He just had it confirmed directly from the dev's mouth. I love it.
Yeah, just to touch on that, they absolutely do. They absolutely do. This game has become what it is because of us as the players providing our feedback, submitting bug reports, giving the devs our wish lists. They make it happen, guys. They really, truly do. They go through daily. Literally, they go through daily on the Discord, and they look at game suggestions, they look at the bug reports, they look at all that stuff. And they have their own little spreadsheet where they're keeping track of how popular a suggestion is. And the more popular a suggestion is, the more likely the devs are going to go, let's do this, let's get this put in ASAP. And they do. They look at it, they go, okay, this is what we need to do, this is what our community wants, so let's make it happen. Again, a lot of the stuff that we see in-game now is because of the feedback. For those of you who have been playing for the last 2 years on day one since it released on PC, this game has done a full 180. It has changed so much. The console players, you guys are lucky. You have no clue the struggles that we went through when this game first released. How, I don't want to say how bad the game was, because it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't good, though. No, I lied. It was still a good game, but it was really super easy to catch fish. There was no real challenge. There just so much has changed that it's a completely different game from what it was, and it's all because of the player base throwing their suggestions in on the Discord. So if there's something you want to see, throw it up on their Discord, but make sure you do a search before you create a new thread, because what you want to see might already have been suggested. If that's the case, upvote it. If it's not already been suggested, then create a new thread and hope that people upvote it. The more upvotes, the more reactions, the more likely the devs are to put it into the game.
And I would also love to see your snapshots and the things you like. I really enjoyed seeing players discover the burning boat in Norway and a bunch of the other things. So please post those if you see anything cool. There's definitely a bunch of cool things to have a look around here. And I think as well, if you catch something nice by the side of them, you can show us the size of your catch in the shadow of the cathedral or in the shadow of the caves, or any of those kind of things. And that's even better than just getting us a snapshot, I think. So please do post them.
Absolutely. Here's a good question coming in from chat, and this is directly for you, Ben. What is your favorite fishing spot so far on the map?
On this map, well, I mean, it's caves, isn't it, Jaxie? Really? I mean, come on. The caves are great. But if I had to not answer the caves, I think I would say on a part of the dilapidated walkway, if you go into the Atajo, there's a bunch of kind of smaller bits of the walkway, so you can fish from them just underneath. And I love kind of sitting there and hooking some stuff on some of the rivers there.
Something to look forward to. Yeah, there you go, guys. I mean, the fact that we're here right now, all of us, if you ask me what's my favorite spot, I'd say wherever I have my line in the water at this stage. Do the carp get big here? That's a good question. What are our biggest carp on the? Do you know offhand?
I do. Yes, the mirror carp is the biggest carp. I think you can get some absolute stonkingly sized mirror carps. They're big boys. And so if you care about size and you're trying to reel something in, you will not be disappointed. There are some big mirror carp to catch, but I think all the carp are going to be pretty big, and I am really looking forward to seeing what people post, and also what people post when bottom fishing comes out as well, because those carps will eat it up.
We love the big boys too, absolutely. Nelvox, thank you. He says, great job to the devs. Love to pass that along, especially with everybody here right now. 100%. Eel on the Goldhorn setup. Well, that proved difficult for him. He gave it a valiant fight. But if anybody had been able to wrangle that in, I had faith that it had been Rushy. But clearly, he had something that deserved to get away for another day there. Need a sidewinder with a pumpkin seed head for Halloween? Oh, jeez. Can we get a lure cam? Well, these are things that we can talk about in the future. Please make sure you're adding weight to that discussion in Discord, because that has been started already. What's the shop?
If you'd like.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, if we have time, maybe we could drive back down to the city centre. They're not too far away. If we have time on the stream, and they could see the shop again, because they might have missed it. Maybe if you feel that's wise.
I do not mind at all. Return. I can quickly fast travel back.
Oh, fast travel, of course. You can do that, yeah.
Let's go. Big shout out to Rushy and Chris. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us there and giving us a little fishing adventure together. That's always fun. But if you missed it, my friends, this is the center, the hub of activity. You're going to be coming here an awful lot. I love the fact that we got a little bit of insight that as you progress through the game, as you collect some of the collectibles, you're going to see that populate this little area. It's fantastic. Gentlemen, hello. I'm here to peruse your wares. This is great. Here's your shop. Now, I'm not going to go in and explore too much through the shop. You know what that's going to look like. We're not going to really dig into too much of the gear and such there. I did bring along... Can I pull it out here? I can't pull it out here. Oh, I don't have it equipped, do I? I don't think I set it up. I did not, but let's go ahead. One of the rods in which we were going to show off and we took a quick look at on the last stream. I'm just going to throw the Pure Champion on, but we'll just quickly...
I will add as well, the Iberian ham that we found in the cave should be on the table over here. For you to
it is too. Oh, yeah. Fantastic. You guys recall, we picked this up, we heard the lore behind it. It made me hungry. I want to go and try some of this now. But here it is, you're right. And as we start to progress through the map, you will see this get populated. Nice rod I have in my hand here, hey? You're going to want to find that one while you're here on Spain. But yeah, here's the shop. A lot of love has gone into this one. And I think our players have really come to appreciate the characters that we have that are our NPCs. And I can't wait for folks to be able to explore more about what Spain brings and like clearly the banter and stuff.
Right, so we're going to wrap it up there, guys. Not a whole lot was revealed. We got to look at the cave system. A little look at the lore. Obviously, that's kind of Ben's forte as a developer, being the narrative designer. But it is a little closer look. The big highlights that I got from this was we're getting collectibles that will populate the area. So you'll see them in-game as you collect them. And then we also have luminescent fishing equipment. We didn't get a look at it, but Ben definitely said there is some luminescent fishing equipment. So we look forward to seeing that. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think so far in the comments section below. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If I've earned it, hit the subscribe button. And as always, be safe, be cool, and have fun. We'll catch you in the next one.